Big news just announced at BlizzCon, and I'm reporting right from my hotel next to BlizzCon, is the next expansion of Hearthstone, Descent of Dragons. Right after the announcement, I rushed out of the hall, grabbed my quick poster swag, looks sweet, lots of dragons battling it out, League of Evil versus the League of Explorers. So this set follows Rafam's plan. He's gone to Northrend. He's going to resurrect Galakrond, a huge dragon. Rafam and his teammates, the 5 classes, are going to all get, first of all, a free legendary. Every single one of them gets a free Galakrond. Wow, that's value. And they're all getting this Galakrond in order to draw out Galakrond's powers, because there's going to be a bunch of cards with Invoke, where if you cast a card with Invoke, could be a minion, could be a spell, then that increases Galakrond's powers, because, you know, he's just awoken. Power up your Galakrond as well, you get to draw upon Galakrond's powers. Second mechanic of the set is going to be Sidequests. Sidequests, unlike quests, do not start in your opening hand. They are going to give you, like the name suggests, a mini goal to do during the game, and if you achieve the mini goal, you get a pretty good reward, which is much better than its mana cost. And the third and final mechanic of this set is dragons. There are a lot of dragons. Of course, Team Evil is featuring Galakrond, but Team League of Explorers is also going to be using a lot of dragons to fight them. So you've wondered, why is this year named the Year of the Dragons? Well, this set has a lot of dragons in it. So let's see some of the cards that were showcased. First of all, we're going to begin with the rogue version of Galakrond. Galakrond the Nightmare is the free legendary that rogues are going to be getting. For 7 mana, Battlecry, draw 1 card, and its cost 0. But if you invoke Galakrond twice, then it upgrades to draw 2 cards, they cost 0. And if you invoke further 2 times, it upgrades to the final form of Battlecry, draw 4 cards, they cost 0, and equip a 5/2 weapon. Whew. And of course, when you play Galakrond, that's basically a hero card. Your hero power changes as well to 2 mana, add a lackey to your hand. This is a really spicy card to showcase right off the bat, because it's a strong ability. The final form of Galakrond the Nightmare is not just Sprint, which costs 7 mana already, but you set all of the cards you drew to 0 mana. I figure that such a Galakrond deck, and perhaps we're going to see different styles of Galakrond decks for each class, such a style of Galakrond would likely be a mid-range deck. So when you draw these cards and set them to 0, you're probably going to be, let's say the average cost of the draw ends up being 4 mana. You save a total of 16 mana, and you got a sprint effect, so that's like 23 mana worth of stuff, plus you got 5 armor, plus you improved your hero power. We're talking ultimate infestations plus levels of value here. Finally, the value rogue moment. You know, I've said value rogue so many times over the last 5 years, but finally, this is it. Mid-range value rogue. Oh man, it's finally here. So just a few of the Invoke cards that were quickly shown off were the Rogue 3 mana spell, Seal Fate. Deal 3 damage to an undamaged minion. That's pretty good. Deal 3 damage to an undamaged minion. That's priced at perhaps 1 mana, given that Backstab does it for 0. And then you get the Invoke Galakrond effect, which drawing a lackey, probably fair to say, costs like 1.5 mana. Combining those together into one bundle makes Seal Fate look fairly reasonably costed. Another Invoke card that all the evil classes are going to be able to use is the Shield of Galakrond. 5 mana, 4/5, with Taunt, Battlecry, Invoke Galakrond. That's pretty solid. How much is a 4/5 with Taunt worth? Maybe 4 mana? So you're getting the Invoke Galakrond effect for just 1 mana, and that's going to be different for each of the classes, but for Rogue, you're drawing a lackey. And when you consider that Evil Cable Rat was a 1/1 for 2 mana that drew a lackey, well, for 5 mana, I think you'd be willing to pay a 4/5. So Mage gets the first side quest revealed, Learn Draconic, 1 mana spell. Side quest, spend 8 mana on spells. Reward, summon a 6/6 dragon. That's 1 mana for a 6/6 right there. You pay the 1 mana for the side quest, you're going to get the 6/6 not immediately, but somewhere down the line by doing stuff that you were going to do anyways, just cast 8 mana worth of spells. Of course, those have to be spells. That's going to change your deck a bit. You're going to be a bit more spell focused. But the tempo swing, when you get a 6/6 along with your Flame Strike, that is really big. I think side quests are going to be really powerful because if you build your deck around completing the side quest, then you are basically paying 1 mana for delayed 6/6, which is very value. The big Druid Legendary Dragon, Ysera Unleashed, 9 mana, Battlecry, shuffle 7 Dream Portals into your deck, and when you draw a Dream Portal, summon a random dragon. Ysera Unleashed is fittingly a 4/12. So this reminds me a bit of the neutral portal cards, but boy, is this a lot of portals, and is that a lot of value? We don't know how good a random dragon is going to be because there's going to be so many dragons in this set, but I think it's fair to say that dragons are going to be pretty big. And we're going to have to see about dragon synergy, but if there is dragon synergy, I think that they're going to tend to be mid-range decks or perhaps control decks, value decks. And Ysera Unleashed looks like a very nice big finisher for a Druid. And with all those dragons, there's going to be a cycle of breaths from dragons. The Shaman breath looks absolutely disgusting. 3 mana, Lightning Breath, deal 4 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, also deal damage to its neighbors. Do you know what I see when I read something like that? I see 3 mana, cast Flame Strike. Holy cow! That's really encouraging dragon synergy. So these breaths are clearly going to be very potent. So there you have it, the initial announcement of Descent of Dragons. Going to be looking at a bunch of these other cards right away. Of course, given my setup, I have to write down all the cards on note cards and refer to them as I'm doing this phone vid. So bear with me, but we're getting all of the news right to you right now.